Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Adam bin Amri Hikman and I'll be the first presenter of today's presentation. And I'll also answer question number one, which asks us, what is an organization and what characteristics do organizations share? So we'll take a look at some of the definitions given by some scholars, and we're also going to take a look at some of the characteristics that we can derive from those definitions. So let's get cracking. All right. So before we can dive in further into what characteristics does an organization have, we must first understand what is an organization. So according to one of the scholars in modern management, which is Peter Drucker, also often referred to as the father of modern management, defined an organization as a social entity that has a recognizable boundary, has an internal structure, a set of members, or as stakeholders who have common goals. And we can also take a look at one of the definitions given by Maximilian Karl Emil Weber, or known as Max Weber, who is a German sociologist. He defined organization as, well, a formal organization is one in which it is rationally designed to achieve its objective, has a hierarchical structure of authority, and is impersonal in its relation with both its members and clients. He stated this in one of his books titled Economy and Society, which is published back in 1932 in Germany. So, from this definition, we can derive that an organization will share some of a few common characteristics, which is they have a common goal, which is clearly defined, and they also have a division of labor amongst its members, and of course, it's going to be made up of its members, which are individuals, and an organization will also have a hierarchical structure. And we can also conclude that an organization is more than just a group of individuals working together. It is a purposeful system designed to achieve specific objectives. And not to mention, Drucker also stressed the importance of organizations' environment, which includes factors such as economy, condition, government regulation, and social trends. So now we know what defines an organization, we can constitute or derive from the definition that organization will, to some and certain degree, share a common characteristics amongst each other. The first one being defined goals, second division of labor, then hierarchy, and then it is also made up of individuals. So from these characteristics, we know that an organization does not need to have a building. It can exist without a building because an organization is just simply a member that has goals and they know how to achieve that goals through the division of labor and also the hierarchy. So we're going to take a look at the first one. All right, so the first and most important characteristics of an organization is that it has a well-defined and clearly written goals. People get together and form organization in the first place because they have a common goals or a purpose to achieve in the first place. Now, it refers to the fact that organizations are created with a specific purpose or objective in mind. This purpose can take many forms, such as profit maximization, social welfare, environmental sustainability, or a combination of these and other goals. Having a clear and well defined goal is critical to the success of an organization. It provides a sense of direction and a sense of purpose that guides decision making within the organization. Goals also serve as the benchmark for measuring the effectiveness of the performance of the organization. So the members in an organization will know whether and how far are they from achieving the stated goals. Now, in order for an organization goals to be effective, it must be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. This is an acronym for SMART approach, which is an approach that measures the purpose and goals of an organization so that you know that the organization is well written or not. Now, specific goals are clear and well defined, while measurable means that the goals can be quantified and can be tracked. Achievable goals are realistic, and relevant goals align with the organization's missions and values. And finally, time-bound goals means that an organization have a specific deadline timeline for completion. And we can see that goals will set apart different organizations. From an example of the pictures in the slide, you can see that all of the manufacturers that in the slide, which is Mercedes, Ferrari, and Toyota, are making automobiles. But because of their different goals, they will create different end results and different types of cars. All right. So the second characteristics of an organization is the division of labor. Once the members of an organization get together, create a goal, they must divide the labor and the task among themselves so that they know how to achieve those goals. So this refers to the process of breaking down complex tasks into smaller and more specialized tasks and assigning them to different individuals or groups within an organization. The goal of the division of labor is to increase efficiency and productivity by allowing individuals to focus on what they do best. Now, there are several benefits to dividing labor within an organization. First is that an organization will achieve specialization. It means that every individual will be more specialized and more effective in carrying out their work. And apart from that, it will also encourage efficiency within the organization. It allows individuals to focus on a specific task, and that the specific task can be done much faster. And it also encourages expertise. So the members in an organization will be an expert in the field that they are assigned to. All right. So the third characteristics of organization is hierarchy. Now, as organizations grow and expand, they need to create levels within those organizations so they know that who and what members are allowed to do certain functions and process and also to execute their power or to exercise their power. Now, hierarchy are ways of organizing individuals and groups based on their level of powers and responsibility, with those at the top having more power and responsibility than the bottom. Because of hierarchy, we have top level, middle managers, and also the bottom level managers. And for example, as we can see for food and beverages industry, we will have the director of the store, the chef, the cleaner, and the store clerk, all working together within a specific hierarchy or structure that has been created for them, allowing them to only exercise the certain power that has been given. For example, a chef cannot do the job of the store director, and that the cleaner cannot do the job of a chef. And last but not least, an organization would have not existed in the first place if it weren't because it was made up of individuals. Now, individuals or the members of an organization is what makes an organization in the first place. It is not the resources that they have, nor the building that they are working inside, but it's the member who makes the heart or the body of an organization. Now, the characteristics of membership here refers to the people who are part of an organization, either as employees, members, volunteers, or other types of stakeholders. Membership is a critical characteristics of organization because it defines who belongs to the organization and who does not. This is as simple as that.
Moving on to the next question, my name is Nora Aina. So the question two says, rules define the manager. Do you agree or disagree with the statement? Discuss what you think managers do. In my opinion, I agree with the statement of rules defines the manager, as within an organization, managers of different levels have different responsibilities that may overlap. There are three ways to look at what managers do using the approach of role. The first one will be interpersonal role, the second one will be informational role, and lastly, it will be a decision making role. firstly, I will be explaining about interpersonal management roles. The managerial roles in this category involve providing information and ideas. So the first part of it is to be a figurehead. So as a manager, you have social, ceremonial, and legal responsibilities. You are expected to be a source of inspiration, and people will look up to you as a person with authority and as a figurehead. And next thing will be to be a leader. This is where you provide leadership for your team, your department, or perhaps your entire organization, and it is where you manage the performance and responsibilities of everyone in the group. And lastly will be liaison. So here you, as a manager must be able to communicate with internal and external contacts, and they need to be able to network effectively on behalf of the organization. So here we can see that this rules is applicable to the top management, which is the president and the CEO. So for example, here we have Jeff Bezos from Amazon and Mr. Elon Musk from Tesla. On top of that, I will be explaining to you about the second managerial roles, which is informational management roles. The managerial roles in this category involve processing information. So the first one will be monitor. In this role, manager regularly seek out information related to the organization and industry, looking for relevant changes in the environment. They also monitor their teams in terms of both their productivity and their well-being. And secondly, it will be disseminator. This is where they communicate potentially useful information to their colleagues and their team. And lastly, they become a spokesperson. In this case, managers represent and speak for their organization. In this role, they are responsible for transmitting information about the organization and its goal to the people outside it. So in this case, you can apply this role to every level of the organization. I'll be explaining to you about decisional management roles, which involve using information. So the first one is managers need to be a great entrepreneur. So as a manager, they need to create and control the image within the organization. This means they need to solve problems, generate new ideas, and implement them. Next, they need to be great disturbance handler. So when an organization or team hits an unexpected roadblock, it is the manager who needs to take charge. They need to help mediate disputes within it. And after that, they need to be a great resource allocator. In this case, they need to determine where the organizational resources are best applied. This involves allocating funding as well as assigning staff and other organizational resources. And lastly, they need to be a great negotiator. In this case, the manager may be needed to take part in and direct important negotiations within the team, department, or the organization itself. So in this case, the decisional management rules is applied by all levels of managers. That's it from me. Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Yuan Qitai from Group 1, and now let's turn to question 3. So in today's environment, which is more important to our organizations, efficiency or effectiveness? Well, in my opinion, my answer is effectiveness. So let's turn to next slide to see more details. So why is effectiveness more important than efficiency? Well, as documented in our textbook, effectiveness means doing those tasks that help the organization reach its goal. Efficiency means doing a task correctly and getting the most output from the least amount of inputs. Thus, we can notice that effectiveness tends to the effective outcome, but efficiency tends to the efficient process. Some people may think that choosing an efficient way to work is as important as effective results, because it can save us time, money, and other costs. But actually, it's not. Next, I will explain the two aspects and show how to balance efficiency and effectiveness. So what if we put efficiency before effectiveness? Then which kind of outcome we may face, positive or negative? First, it can cause a certain amount of procrastination. Some people spend a lot of time thinking about how to do a task in a more efficient way before they start. rather than just doing it. In the process of this constant deliberation, the task will remain uncompleted. Second, we may lose main target. A man can do a lot of things in a short time, but if his goal is not right, then all will be futile. The real goal of efficiency is to do the right thing efficiently. Then on the next slide, I will show you how to be both efficient and effective. So how to be both efficient and effective? First, finish before you improve. When we are faced with a difficult problem, we should prioritize inefficient but feasible methods to complete it, instead of thinking about the optimal routes all the time. Second, find the balance between effectiveness and efficiency. When we start to do a strange task, we can learn from others to do it, and then consider whether there is a better and more efficient way to do it. Third, stop procrastinating. That's the most important. When faced with a daunting task, don't stress yourself out about how to accomplish it efficiently. Instead, pick a small area and start dealing with it. That's all, guys. I also hope all of you will be both efficient and effective.
Alright, so my name is Maisra binti Shamsul Baharin and I will be presenting question 4. So the question goes, are there any differences between managerial functions in a for-profit organization and a not-for-profit organization? Explain. The managerial roles and skills of a not-for-profit organization greatly differs from that of a for-profit organization. Alright, as we all know, the four functions approach, which are planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So I will be explaining the differences of for-profit organization as well as not-for-profit organizations from these four functions. First of all, as we can see in the slide, for instance, a not-for-profit manager's key goal is to make plans on how to attract grants and further the mission statement, while for-profit manager's main concern is to make profits. Secondly, the not-for-profit manager must have a well-organized organization so as to win the funders' confidence, while the manager in the profit-making organization has well laid out consistent plans so that the profit-making objective is met. In addition to that, leading a non-profit-making organization means ensuring that both the lowly paid and the voluntary employees are always highly motivated and constantly passionately speaking about the goals of the organization, while in a profit-making firm is generally influencing employees to work towards a given financial goal. Finally, the controlling function in a non-profit making organization requires a leader who can take control of situations such as urgent budget cuts and program adjustments brought about by stakeholder populist changes, while that for a profit organization mostly means identifying errors and setting measures to correct them.
Hi guys, I'm Yimin. I will discuss more on question 5. Based on this question, using any of the popular business periodical, find examples of managers doing each of the four management functions. Write up the description and explain how these are examples of the function. As we all know that there are actually four management functions, which are planning, organizing, leading, and also controlling. So in this slide, I'll be discussed on the first two management functions, which are planning and organizing, while the leftover, leading, and also controlling, will be discussed on the next slide. So starting with the first management function, planning. Managers must navigate the decision-making process to help their team reach company goals. Managers must foresee future situations and be aware of the current environmental factors that will affect their firm. By giving an example, manager is the decision maker who set a target of Rm 1 billion revenue to be achieved at the end of the year. So moving on to the next management function, which is organizing. Managers must effectively organize physical, human, and financial resources. Managers responsible on classifying activities, assigning activities to individuals or groups, and delegating authority to guarantee the achievement of goals. Refer back to the example in planning is to achieve Rm 1 billion of revenue. Manager is the one who is responsible to organize the resources and the workforce optimally without any wastage to make sure that the company could achieve the goal at the end of the year. So in this slide, I'll be continue on the next two management functions, which are leading and also controlling. I'll first start with leading. The leading function of the management focuses on people more than work tasks. Managers are responsible for motivating team members and providing the direction to accomplish a business goal and objective. For instance, manager should provide a positive insight for the team members so that they could be motivated and increase their effectiveness to complete all the tasks given. Last but not least, we have controlling. This function refers not just controlling people, but total supervision of the team or business in general. Managers must oversee the production and operation, service delivery, compliance with corporate regulation, and many other organizational tasks. This is to ensure that all the tasks given or the progress must be parallel to the final goals that company set at the start of the business. So that is all for 5 of the discussion questions. Now I'll pass to Anselm to discuss further on the case application.
Hi, I'm Anson. Now I'm going to present case application which is about management training at Walmart. After discussion, we have summarized 10 points from the article. First of all, Walmart is the largest retailer in the world and it has more than 11,700 retails and around 2.3 million associates in the world. So we know that Walmart is the multinational retail corporation that operates a chain of hypermarket. The second point is Walmart recent revenue was more than $485.3 billion and it made more than $13.6 billion in their profit. Next, Walmart Academy Training Program is created in 2016 and the main objective of this program is helping employees in lower level management position to be more successful in their future career. The training has been carried out by more than 150,000 store supervisors and department managers across the United States. This training includes all advanced management skills, which mainly to perform the in-store shopping experience into a consistently positive one. Moving on, we know that brick and mortar retailers are facing an increasing competitive pressures from Amazon and other online sellers, so they are forced to provide customers something attractive in order to retain their customers. The next point, Walmart started to focus back to train their employees to be attentive to customers if the company wants to create a more pleasant in-store shopping experience. There's a total of $2.7 billion has been spent by Walmart on employees training and the increment of employee wages. In contrast, there are companies that evidently do not focus on training their managers, with statistics proven some new managers not being well prepared for the transition into management roles, and some of them are failing to make the transition. Lastly, Walmart's decision to invest in training appears to be a wise investment. This is because managers play a crucial role in employee motivation and engagement. Next, I am going to discuss about why would the company want employees in lower level management positions to be more successful in their careers. I would like to talk about efficiency. Efficiency means resource usage or doing things right. The goal of efficiency is low waste. Nowadays, newbie employees using lots of time to adapt new working scope. Therefore, experience, technique or tips will be provided through training program and it won't waste companies' precious resources to make mistake or try and error when newbies get into work. Move on, what is effectiveness? Effectiveness means goal attainments or doing right things. The goal of effectiveness is high attainment. By training, it allows employees to achieve certain targets assigned by higher management level. They will have ability to work in high pressure and cross-due that, and also learn great soft skills when handling tasks. For instance, Walmart provide training program not only from professional skills but also soft skills. There are 4 functions in management. The first one is planning. Planning includes defining goals, establishing strategies, and developing plans to coordinate activities. For example, Walmart defines their achievable goals, develop tasks that need to be done by certain departments. The second function is organizing. Organizing includes determining which tasks need to be done by whom, when and where. For example, Walmart assigned jobs to everyone, giving a due date for them to complete it as soon as possible. Moving on, leading. Leading includes motivating employees, selecting effective communication channel, and resolving conflicts. For instance, Walmart find out the wrong person, solve conflicts from the roots. Lastly, the fourth function is controlling. Controlling includes monitoring performance, comparing it with goals, and correcting significant deviations. Walmart's always review back to the roots of problem and roots of success. In a nutshell, a company needs to have good managers to reach a certain goal. If lower level managers are more successful in their career, they will complete important work activities correctly by using the least number of resources like energy and time. These managers need to lead and motivate their employees, monitor their performance, and organize the tasks. Therefore, Walmart wants for lower level management to succeed in their career, so they can put them to higher level management positions inside the company. That's all from me. I shall pass the floor to Haizal.
Hello
Thank you.
everyone, my name is Haizal. Moving on to the next question, which is what benefits and challenges do you see to a training program such as There are great benefits to the Walmart training program, such as advancing in your career. Some employees maybe do not have a certain education, and this program gives them a chance to learn how to be a manager. Secondly, it is a great program for someone who is seeking an entry-level job. These employees will be mentored and trained, and when the time is right, the company will transfer them to a higher level job. Walmart's training programs make strides in work fulfillment and worker engagement. Feeling fulfilled with your career can lead to overall satisfaction and happiness from your job, which means that you have balanced your interests and your skills. At the same time, the employees be able to maintain a positive relationship with the colleagues from any level position. The employees feel connected to their organization, work harder, stay longer, and motivate others. On to the next point, which is incrementing employees' inspiration, or simply put, increasing their motivation. The effect of that is efficiency levels would be expanded and the overall output of a trade may be higher as they desire to feel empowered, valued, and inspired. From another perspective, by applying new skills acquired from the training program, they can enhance level of commitment, creativity, enthusiasm, and energy, which leads the business to operate in effective way. This may lead to superior comes about for the company and a more positive work environment for everybody. You have seen three benefits of the training program. Now, we will discuss the challenges that not only faced by Walmart but also by other companies. The training program surely required a high budget. This had been clearly stated in the case study where Walmart spent $2.7 billion on employees training and raising employee wages. All direct and indirect costs associated with courses and materials are needed to analyze, design, develop, implement, evaluate, and maintain employee training or retraining. It is important to manage your training budget carefully if you want to stay on track. It is because it involves cost travel, training facilities, in-house training development, equipments, and much. Another challenge is imperfect quality training can cause deficient quality in work. Inadequate training in the workplace can lead to the risk of accidents and incidents in the workplace. Employee errors can result in lawsuits, fines, and in some cases, charges of criminal negligence for an employer, especially it is discovered that an employee failed to provide adequate training or that the training provided was inadequate for the duties performed by the employee. Employees who have not been trained properly will produce less work and at a lower quality. Less knowledge and training lead to a lower level of performance, resulting in less profit. This type of work often leads to errors, quality issues, and time lost repeating activities.
Now, we will be looking at question 112 from the case studies, where the question asks for additional managerial topics that will be covered in Walmart academic program and think in terms of the three ways to look at what managers do. So based on the case studies, the managerial topics that are covered in Walmart academic training program is advanced retail skills, where it includes merchandising, ordering, inventory control, and also managerial skills that include better communication and motivating employees. So I suggest political skills, which is a skill that managers are need to a skill that the managers need to understand and monitor the employees, other than they can influence and also correct the employees with a great communication skills. So, for example, if Walmart staffs they do any mistakes, the managers can correct them in a good way, nicely, without boiling out. Secondly, conceptual skills, which is it's a skill that managers are able to analyze and recognize any complicated situations and problems and come up with a great solution. So for example, if Walmart are facing any issues, for example, any issues or problem with the customers, they don't satisfied with something, the manager can solve the issue skillfully. They will come up with a solution and they're able to give satisfaction to the customers. So both all of these skills are based on ways to look at what managers do, the skills approach. So that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Said Hazrik and I will be moving on to the next question, which is many college graduates are reluctant to pursue a career in retail organization, even at the world's largest. Discuss how a company like Walmart could attract talented graduates. So, to attract talented graduates, Walmart can consider implementing a few of the following strategies. First of all, Walmart can emphasize opportunities for growth and development for the graduates. They can highlight the various opportunities for growth and development within the company. This can include leadership development programs, mentorship programs, and the chance to work on innovative projects. Walmart can also provide hands-on training and development to the graduates to prepare them for their roles. This can include shadowing experienced managers, working on real projects, and attending workshops and training sessions. Next, Walmart can offer compensation and benefits that are competitive with other companies. Walmart can offer competitive salaries and benefits packages to attract a lot of talented graduates. Additionally, Walmart can offer bonuses and/or stock options to encourage employees to invest in the company's success. Other than that, fostering a positive work environment can surely help bolster a company like Walmart's pull for these talented graduates. They can emphasize its commitment to creating a positive work environment, which can include initiatives to promote work-life balance, employee wellness, and workplace safety. This can help to attract graduates who value a healthy work-life balance. Last but not least, utilizing innovative technology and digital platforms. Walmart can showcase its use of innovative technology and digital platforms to attract tech-savvy graduates. This can include highlighting its e-commerce capabilities, supply chain optimization, and use of data analytics to inform decision-making. By emphasizing these factors and showcasing its commitment to creating a positive and engaging work environment, a company like Walmart can attract talented graduates and develop them into future leaders within the company.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Daniel, and I will moving on to the next question, which is, does an organization have an ethical responsibility to assist new managers transition into their position? Why or why not? So, in my opinion, yes, an organization has an ethical responsibility to assist new managers transition into their position. There are several reasons why this is the case. Employee well-being. A new manager who is not properly supported in their transition can experience significant stress, anxiety, and burnout. This can have negative consequences for their well-being and potentially impact their ability to perform their job effectively. Other than that, organization effectiveness. A new manager who is not supported can struggle to navigate the organizational structure, culture, and processes. This can result in delays, mistakes, and inefficiencies that can ultimately impact the overall effectiveness of the organization. Next is employee satisfaction. If a new manager is not provided with the necessary support and resources, it can impact the employees that they manage. This can result in low morale, reduced job satisfaction, and ultimately a higher rate of turnover. Okay, so last but not least, legal considerations. If a new manager is not provided with the necessary training and support, it could potentially result in legal liabilities for the organization. For example, if the manager violates labor laws or engage in discriminatory behavior, the organization could be held responsible. In light of these factors, it is clear that an organization has an ethical responsibility to assist new managers transition into their position. This can include providing training, coaching, mentorship, and other resources to ensure that the manager is set up for success and can effectively perform their job duties while also supporting the well-being and satisfaction of their employees. That's all from me. Thank you.